Welcome to Heartland Dual Sport. In today's video we're going to be continuing on to the East Coast. In today's video it is actually day 4, so let's get to the ride. Again, thanks for tuning in to Heartland Dual Sport. If you haven't been here before, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Dale and I'll be your host throughout this video series. Today we're day 4 and we're traveling. It's going to be roughly another 300-mile day and we're headed to the East Coast, and we're going to be camping at a place called Myrtle Beach. As many of you know, Myrtle Beach is a very popular beach, and they've also got a state park if you didn't know about that. And that's where we're headed today in today's video. What I'm going to talk to you about today is just some of the interesting things that happened while I was there at Myrtle Beach. In the background you're going to be seeing videos of us riding and taking the trip there, and when I say us, it's me. Because I'm still on this trip solo, but I'm enjoying the trip so much. But again, we're taking back roads using the Garmin GPS. Not sponsored by Garmin, I just really have fallen in love with this thing since I've been using it, especially through the course of this trip. But in today's video, again, we're taking back roads, and once we get to Myrtle Beach, I've got some interesting things that I would like to share with you. And number one being, we did make reservations for Myrtle Beach. It was the only state park where they were down to one campsite prior to me leaving for the trip. The downside was I had to actually reserve the campsite for 2 nights, but I wasn't willing to gamble going this far and that being one of the main destinations for the trip. And I'm not going to give away where we're going tomorrow. So if you haven't subscribed, be sure to subscribe, because that's actually going to be a really fun video as well. But we did make the reservation, so I wasn't worried about that, because like I say, it was the last campground available in the campground. So made our reservations and got there, got checked in. Again, it's just another beautiful area. I will say this, by the time I got into the Myrtle Beach area, it was closer to 3 or 4 in the afternoon, so there was quite a bit of traffic. And realistically, since I had left Texas, this is the most traffic that I've been in the whole way. A lot of your highways, and especially when you get to a big recreational area like this, being the state park, it has got a fair amount of people who are wanting to go there for vacations, etc. And again, we left the Texas on the 4th of July, so this entire week is technically still a week that a lot of people would take off for vacation, because they get an extra day doing it, getting the holiday or whatever. So we did get there. There was quite a bit of congestion. Got to the campground, checked in, made it to our campsite, and here's a fun story for you. And this just kind of, I know that I'm looking pretty rough by the time I've been on the road for 5 days. Guys, I've been showering every day, and it doesn't matter. I mean, by the time you ride through that much heat, my climb gear, my helmet, everything, my boots, I need another shower. I'm not going to deny that, but I was doing what I normally do when I get to camp. I've got this down to a science. I can get camp set up real quick, and I had my climb jacket hanging over the front of my bike. And here's where the funny part is. The people across the street from my campground see me roll up on the motorcycle, and you can tell it's when I say an older couple, I'd say they're in their 60s. So when I'm saying older, they're just older than me. And they've got a daughter that's probably my age, maybe a little bit younger. It's hard to say for certain. But the neat part about how they've got their camp set up, they've got a real nice travel trailer, a real nice SUV that I'm sure they hauled their travel trailer there. Well, in front of the travel trailer, they put up one of those screened-in tents so they can set out there and not worry about the bugs or whatever. When they see me setting up camp, they immediately, the tent sides down so that you can no longer see into this screened-in room. Now it's more like a tent. And I just kind of chuckled to myself, and I thought, surely they're not doing that because I just rolled up. I continued to set up my camp, got my tent set up, and a little bit later, after they got all the windows, if you will, shut on this screened-in room, the Gentleman got in his SUV and parked it right in front of the tent. So just in case they felt like there was going to be trouble coming from my campground, he had his vehicle parked in front of the tent and the camper, blocking it sideways. Okay, so the second part, here's where it makes it a little bit funner, and this is going to be the difference between knowing motorcycle guys and guys that don't know who motorcycle guys are. Obviously, the first story I told you, the couple across the street, they're completely nervous in a nervous wreck that I've rolled up. Now, less than 30 minutes later, I've got my camp set up. A guy in a really nice truck, pulling a really nice boat, pulls up into my camp area, and he's like, "Hey mister, is that the new 2022 KLR?" And I was like, "Yes sir." He gets out of his truck, comes over and visits with me for probably 20 minutes because he's wanting one of the bikes too. As he's walking around the bike, he's like, "Oh my gosh, you're from Texas?" And I was like, "Yes sir, I am. I've ridden this thing all the way from Texas." I said, "I wanted to go swim in the Atlantic Ocean because it's hot back home." I said, "I realize it's hot here, but that water is going to feel so good when I get in." And man, was it nice. Now I will say this, while I was at camp, all I did was wait out. I didn't go swimming in the ocean, and I did that on purpose because I'm hoping that maybe tomorrow something fun will happen, and it's just going to be make this experience even better. So again guys, this video is going to be relatively short compared to some of our other videos. I hope you've enjoyed all the video in the background while I've been narrating this, because this is what we've been doing the whole way here. Again, we're just taking mostly back roads and enjoying the countryside, but I did want to share those stories with you because these are some of the things that you just can't plan for when you're doing these adventure trips like this, especially the long adventures. You don't know who you're going to run into. You don't know who you're going to meet. And I unfortunately probably scared the couple across from me, but I did not mean to. Before we end this video, I want to share this with you, and it's going to be part of our quote of the day. "It is often a mistake to judge every book by its cover. Some of the most amazing books are old and tattered and sometimes a little dirty. It is wonderful to uncover the awesomeness of that old and dirty book." And again, don't ever judge a book by its cover, because you simply don't know if the old man that came in on his bike is a retired officer, retired military, maybe just a undercover cop, or just a good old boy. You just can't tell for sure, but that's one of the fun things about this story and how it ties in with the two different people that I met at this one particular campground. One was judging me by my cover, and the other one was actually extremely interested in the new 2022 KLR. So again guys, we appreciate your likes, comments, and subscribes. I hope you guys are enjoying these quote of the days that are at the end of our videos. If you like them, please give them a big thumb up. We appreciate your likes, comments, and subscribes. Please share our videos with others, especially if you know somebody looking for a KLR and they're saying, "Hey, that's not really a good adventure bike. You'd be more comfortable on blah blah blah." Show them these videos. I'm telling you, I've had an absolute blast, and we'll continue to do more. We've got another trip planned already that's going to be just as fun as this one. So again guys, let's go ride. Friday morning. May get wet today, guys. I don't have too far to ride though. 2 hours to our final destination on the East Coast. Well, actually it'll be second stop. Probably go up East Coast a little bit further and go one more time in the ocean while we're out here.